Hello everyone, welcome to another video of JavaScript for LWC series. In this video, we'll see different type of data types in JavaScript. So let's get started. Every language has its own set of data types. Similarly, JavaScript also have its predefined data types and they're categorized as primitive and non-primitive. In primitive, we have majorly 7 data types, that is the string, boolean, number, begin, null, undefined, and symbol. We'll see each one of them one by one. A string variable is defined like let str equals to my string. You can have single quotes and you can also use double quotes, but be consistent. If you have started with a single quote, then end it with the single quote as well, and vice versa for double quotes. Now, one thing, if you are from some other language, maybe from Java, there you have to mention specifically that its type, that it is of string, and then the name of the variable. In JavaScript, you don't have to do that because it's a dynamically typed language. So what it does is, when you just give a variable name and you depending upon what you have given as the value, it automatically takes its data type. If I'll hover over it, it will let you know that str is a string. However, if I move to the next one and I'll show you, if let's say is true equals to true, this time I haven't mentioned anything, but if I'll hover over this, it will automatically tell you that it's a boolean type. So it automatically takes the gets the type of the value and assign it to the variable that you have given. We can also check it with number as well. Let's say my score maybe equals to 100, and if I hover over the variable again, it will show that the type of this variable is number. And similarly for big int, now to make a big int, we have to give a huge number, which is like, I don't know if this is sufficient. Okay, it says it's a big number, but still it is giving it a number. So if you have to convert any number to big int, you have to add n at the end of a large number, and then if you will see that its data type changed. I didn't got a chance to use it in any of my project yet because we don't deal with huge number, but if you will add n at the end of any number, it will be converted in big int. Similarly, the other data types are uh, null and undefined. So if we now, one interesting thing with blank, so we use null for the variables where we specifically have to make the value as null. That means there is no value assigned to this. However, the data type is a bit different for this, and it is object. I'll show you. So if we try to console the data type of the variable blank, it will be object, and which is a bit strange, because earlier we were following the pattern that whatever we were assigning, we were getting the similar, but for blank it is, I mean for the null, it is different. So its type is an object. So this is something you need to remember. Moving on to the next, that is undefined. And for this one, let's say we have a variable and we haven't given any value to this, and we directly we just defined the variable and haven't assigned any value. In this case, this variable will be undefined. I'll show you. So by default, any variable that you do not assign value to is undefined by default. So let's do this, and you see this undefined. However, you can also explicitly mention the undefined data type to it, and in this case as well, it will be undefined. So you can do it both ways. If you just mention, I mean, if you do not assign the value, then it will be undefined. And the last one is symbol. Symbol is a recent addition, and you can actually assign a symbol to any key, and it will be unique. Even if you have multiple symbol assigned uh, to the same string, still they will be different. And I'll give you an example. So let's say if you have const val1 equals to, and now to make something a symbol, you have to wrap it in symbol, and you can give a string as, let's say, my string. And similarly, I have val2, and again I have assigned given this symbol. Now it looks like both of these are same, but if we'll console this, we'll see that these values aren't same actually. If we try to compare them, ideally this should be true, but each of this is a different, I mean, they will have different symbol, and if I try to compare, it will be false. This is something we don't use in our project, but it's good to know. Now moving on to the non-primitive types. And non-primitive data types will cover these four majorly, and we'll see how they are defined and used. So first one is the object, and this is how it is defined. You can define a variable, and in variable you have a curly brace, and you can have key value pairs. This is called object. So basically everything that you see in this curly braces, this whole part is known as an object. Now an object can consist of different variables inside that, which will have primitive data types, and it can be anything. It can be collection, I mean, there can be more keys to it, and collectively it will be called as an object. Next we have is an array, and array is defined like this. Let number array equals to, you start with a square bracket and then you give different values inside that. So basically this is called an array. We'll have a detailed video around array and object, but for now just see how we define an array. And let's check the data types as well, what exactly we'll get. So we'll log data types for both of these, and for the array as well. If we check the data type, we'll get an object. We might have logged something earlier as well. Let's remove this. Okay. So for this one, for both of these, we are getting output as an array. I'm sorry, object. Similarly, we can check the date as well. Let's say, let's today's date equals to new date, and it's a function. So, and we'll console the type of this as well. And again we'll be getting an object. And in JavaScript, like functions can also be assigned to objects as well. So I'll do this my func, and the amazing part is it will also be called as I mean, its type will be object only. So let's say function, and we'll log something here. And we're not calling the function, but we'll just see the type of this. So log, and we'll console this, and it's a function. Now it's also called as object function, I mean, although the return type is, sorry, the type of this is function, but it's called as object function. So that's all for the data types. Now we'll know why do we even need this at the first place. I'll remove everything from here to give you an example. So sometimes there are conditions like from some data source you're getting a value as a string. Let's say equals to let response number as 12, and it is coming as a string, but you have something that user enters which is equals to 12, but its type is number. So let's say let user num equals to 12. Now data type is different. If we need to compare this, if we have to compare this with the user number, and let's log it as well, we'll see it as false. So before actually compare such thing, we'll have to either modify this and make it as a number, or make this one as a string. So it's better if we convert this. Now to convert uh, to a number, you have to use this data type. So it's like we want this number, we want the response value to convert it into number. So if we use this way, and I'll console this value as well, I mean the type of this. So type of, and if we console this, now it is true, and now we have converted it to the number type. Similarly, there will be other uh, similarly there will be other situations like that where you actually have to convert the type of these variables, the values basically. So at that time, this is what you have to do. You have to manually convert them if you are comparing it with someone, or if you are filling the data and data type is not matching, you have to convert it by yourself. So that's all for this video. Please like the video and subscribe the channel to support. Thanks for watching.